Alright, so it's come to my understanding that there is a subgroup in every race that holds more power than the individual of that race. And they're linked to the underground movement and upper ground movements. That's how it goes. And through these subgroups, they have rules. Stick with your race and defeat the other race. Now, they work in all levels of all levels of underground to upper ground to middle ground. And what I mean by the grounds is the level of money you have, the level of freedom you have, the level of recruitment you have, from like underground to like jail to upper ground to government, the powers of structure. But all these subgroups have the power of the community and they dictate how the community is run because they own the power of that subgroup of the community. So like the black community is gang members. They run the prisons. So they flip you into prison or they flip you in in society. Like you could be uh recruited to be a gang member when you're a kid or older. You could be in associated with them through drugs, or let's say you rapping. Um, you could leave the gang, or you could work up the ranks in the gang and then go into government or uh or even nonprofit organization that helps out people. Or let's say you open a barbershop or something. You have power in the community. And it all came from that underground movement that you were in. And that movement says that you should only take care of the people in your community of your race. Something like that. But take care of your community. And that goes with every race that uh that has every race has its own gang, like the white people, they have white nationalists with or alt right, alt right. That's the white people. Mexicans is MS-13, like stuff like that, and they're international, Jamaicans, like every race has their own which name. They all have the same thing as take care of your race. And I don't know, I guess I'm just talking about society then, But I don't think most people see it that way as they don't have, everyone sees it as they having the power. But uh, government only moves to the people that have the biggest group. So that means that the person with the most power in the community dictates how the government is going to be run. And mostly the ones with the guns are the ones that are going to dictate what someone's going to do. So you have a power structure that's built on violence. So if our community is violent, that means our nation will be violent. And that's why our nation is violent. It's because our community is violent. It's because we have these preconceptions and rules that have been written by people in the underground movements, and then they rise out of that poverty and into some power structure. The most famous ones are rappers. They moved from the underground movement and they talk about their lives, and then they become someone famous and powerful. That's the most famous. That's the most. Black people are the most famous as being the underground movement. Like you never hear anything about white nationalists or alt right making power moves and stuff. You never. I mean, you hear it, but they're in the government and stuff. But it's not as famous as black people movements are. Like Jay-Z, Tupac. You know. I mean, even Eminem, he was associated with the underground, right? Through drugs and his rap. But the reason he got so famous was because he could tap into the alt right too. He could tap into all these different subgroups, and that's why he became so famous. It's because everyone was listening to him. He tapped into the Latino. He tapped into the alt right. He tapped into the black community. He tapped into all those communities, which made him rise to power. But he never captured it. He never went into government or anything else like that. He just was like, I got money now. I'm just gonna sit around and do nothing. He never did anything for the community. Just rap. He could have linked everyone together and made a movement. But I don't know. Just something I was thinking of. But yeah, that's just my thought on stuff. The subgroups are more powerful than the individual, and we call them subcultures, but really they're the leader culture. Even though it's said that, even though we like to believe that the majority of people dictate how the United States is running when it's really a minority.